Brian Murray was a well-loved musician, teacher, and friend, and those who knew him say his death is an enormous loss to our community. J.D. Correa reports.
Sunday night at the Zulu King and Queen Ball, Brian Murray was reveling in the carnival season for the first time in nearly 2 years. Murray's band played that night. Julius Handy, pictured here with Murray, has played alongside his friend for many years. The two traveled internationally to Switzerland in 2018 where they won a jazz competition. He says he remembers the words of encouragement he offered Murray at the end of their set at the Zulu King and Queen Ball.
Man, these brothers don't look like no brothers that was into nothing, man, but they're good times and these look like, now, I'm sure they're the wokest, most annoyingly wokest people that you probably ever meet in your life. But just as general people, these look like some great family men, productive citizens. I mean, doing big things, man. Doing real things, not small time stuff. Doing real stuff, man. Traveling the world, winning jazz competitions, playing instruments. God.
Sunday night at the Zulu King and Queen Ball, Brian Murray was reveling in the carnival season for the first time in nearly 2 years. Murray's band played that night. Julius Handy, pictured here with Murray, has played alongside his friend for many years. The two traveled internationally to Switzerland in 2018 where they won a jazz competition. He says he remembers the words of encouragement he offered Murray at the end of their set at the Zulu King and Queen Ball.
Man, everything is going so good for you in the bands, and it sound great, B. And I said, I love you, bro. We just hugged each other and, man, love you too, bro. And next thing I get a call about him being murdered.
This is the moment family and friends learned that Murray was murdered by Edmund Ramey Sr., the 21-year-old father of Murray's grandchild.
Those screams sent chills up my spine, man. Those screams sent chills up my spine. And this dude, he defiant. He don't, so what? I do it again. Made me mad. Shouldn't did that. Should have minded his business. I told him. Ain't got nothing to do with him. Man. Those. And this is them same sisters with them screams. This is who they've turned loose on this world. That's where I'm torn with those screams from those sisters, man. I'm torn because I know these sisters unleashed all these sisters for everything that makes it easy for that guy to be the thug that the generational thug. These dudes ain't generational talents, they generational thugs. We ain't seen thugs like this before. And these sisters are for everything that allows him to be a thug like that.
This is the moment family and friends learned that Murray was murdered by Edmund Ramey Sr., the 21-year-old father of Murray's grandchild. A shocking revelation for Handy, who said his friend was the model family man.
And he was definitely a great father image. And I would tell him that all the time too. I said, man, you're a great dad. I say, these kids better appreciate everything you're doing for them.
But it wasn't just his kids and grandkids that Murray was looking after. He managed his nonprofit, the Jerome Murray Instrumental Music Foundation. He would go around to friends in the music industry collecting old instruments to gift to local New Orleans youth, many of which ended up here at the Ellis Marcellus Center for Music, where Murray would teach and run free studio sessions for the kids with his partner, Dr. Daryl Dickerson.
This is such a tragedy, man. I implore you, Sun community, take a moment away from Lawrence Smith Fields. I know Glacier Glider is involved in that one. And I know one of your beloved thug gremlins is involved in this one. But I implore the community, man. Oh God. This almost brings tears to my eyes, man. And I do this for a living, man. This is what I do. Cover stories like this. This literally my eyes getting watery, man. This brother went around to his friends in the business and collected old instruments and gave them to little son teens in the community, and then taught them how to play it at a state-of-the-art studio. And some two-bit thug that was going to go to jail anyway. The worst part about it is this guy was going to prison anyway for the rest of his life, or a long stretch, for something else. He was going to kill somebody else. He was going to carjack somebody. He was going to rob something. He was going to kill the girl. He was going to do something in the next 6 months, 9 months, 8 months to end up in the same place where he's going now. It's just a shame he had to take that brother with him. This brother was going there anyway. Most of them are going there. And I know you got idiot sisters running around talking about minor marijuana offenses and false charges and setting them up and what. I bet you if you go on this dude's Instagram or IG or Facebook, all he talked about was death, and money, and fast money, and girls, and death, and shooting, and ops, and gang, and all that stuff. I guarantee you.
But it wasn't just his kids and grandkids that Murray was looking after. He managed his nonprofit, the Jerome Murray Instrumental Music Foundation. He would go around to friends in the music industry collecting old instruments to gift to local New Orleans youth, many of which ended up here at the Ellis Marcellus Center for Music, where Murray would teach and run free studio sessions for the kids with his partner, Dr. Daryl Dickerson. Dickerson says one of the most painful parts of this loss is for the future young musicians who will never have the opportunity to work with Murray.
Hearing this young kid play this, and he worked with them on this, and knowing that that next kid won't get that opportunity, it hurts.
Dickerson says he believes Murray's work at the Marcellus Center and in the Jefferson Parish School District is some of his old friends' best work, a deep void to be filled.
But he was one of those educators that they don't come along every day, and I hope we could find resolution, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to find somebody to replace Brian.
As for Handy, he says he's going to miss their day-to-day interactions the most.
And he would call me, "Hey, Ju, what's up, Ju? Hey, Ju." I'm going to miss that. Really miss that. I love him. He was a real great friend and a brother.
Remembered for the joy his life brought to so many. J.D. Career, Eyewitness News.
Tragedy yesterday after the murder of a grandfather and kidnapping of a child by his father. Last night, that suspect turned himself in and the child was returned safely. But today, the focus shifts to the victim. Brian Murray was a well-loved musician, teacher, and friend. Those who knew him say his death is an enormous loss to the community. NOPD Superintendent Sean Ferguson says about a quarter of murders so far in 2022 started with domestic disputes. Edmund Ramey Sr. turned himself in hours after the murder and the kidnapping and brought the child, as we mentioned, back safely. Now, he is in jail facing a second-degree murder charge. Today, we learned that the DA's office has been working to secure evidence in a past case against Ramey from last summer. Now, previously, he faced charges of aggravated battery and domestic abuse child endangerment. But they say that domestic cases can be difficult to convict without the cooperation of the victim. Still, those previous charges are still open and pending.